Greetings, my V Ignite family all over the world. Firstly, allow me to introduce myself. If some of you do not know me, that means you're watching this video as a brand new member of the V Ignite family. And I just want to say welcome to an unbelievable journey you are going to start with one of the greatest stories in direct selling network marketing history. Ignite. I'm sitting here today as your upline to the whole global organization, and I'm going back into this role as an upline to give you enough information, to give you enough guidance, and sharing a lot of my experience of over 30 years in this industry to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur in direct selling, and with sincere belief in my heart that this will be a long-term journey for you, where you take your journey with Ignite as a career, as an entrepreneur, all right, to reach that point where we talk about in this industry called financial freedom, whatever it may mean to you. And to start off, for many years, I kick off with a topic, all right, that is so important for us when we started networking, because we came from a different world. We came from a different belief system, whether you were working in a job before or you were just fresh out of college like me. And the first message, or the first thing I want to share with you, is a very interesting story based on the concept of emptying your cup. All right? So I'll share the story with you, and then I'll share what I learned from it, all right? And I've learned this from one of my mentors many years ago. And this story actually helped me a lot in understanding the mindset that I need to have to benefit the most, especially in the start of your journey as a networker with Ignite. And the story takes us back in time to a story written somewhere, all right, about a young man in Japan, all right, and a master in Zen, all right, Zen teachings, okay, which includes martial arts, meditation, and understanding the concept of life. And the master's name is called Master Suzuki. So, very interesting story, and listen carefully. Master Suzuki ran a school, all right, for young men and women around Japan who had high potential or high desire to learn, all right, the teachings of Zen. And he would handpick young people from around Japan to participate in his school up in the mountains somewhere. Just imagine, okay, there are mountains somewhere in Japan, and this old Japanese building with a old teacher called Master Suzuki, most probably with a long white beard, all right, inviting young people to learn the art of Zen, understanding of life, and unleash your potential, okay? And every year he brought in a new batch of students, and they had to graduate year by year until they graduated and went out to live their life to the fullest. And one year something unique happened. All the students were handpicked, but there was one student who beat the system of evaluation, maybe through some influence, and managed to get into the first year of class. He was a child of somebody influential, wealthy, or rich, and not one of the other kids who came from simple backgrounds, right, and really wanted to learn about Zen. And every year they would go through training, all right, and the first year was basically doing nothing except service. And they would sweep the courtyard, wash the toilets, clean the plates of their seniors, all right, do everything to serve the class before them, to serve the master. And they would not learn any form of martial arts, not learn any form of meditation or self-realization, just hard labor, sweeping, cleaning, washing, all right, almost irrelevant, okay, to Master Suzuki. He never even interacted with them, but he would observe them. he would observe how they would do this mundane, repetitious task every day in his school. And after a year is completed, these freshmen or these juniors would line up. And with very few words, Master Suzuki would walk up to each of them, Zen style, and tap them on the shoulder, indicating that they graduated to the next year. They are now moved on to the next year. And that first batch of students, he tapped, tapped, tapped. When he came to this young man from a privileged background, he didn't tap his shoulder. He tapped, 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 and another 2 or 3 kids he didn't tap. So they were all forced to repeat year 1 again, while the other classmates went on to year 2. And this kid was a bit surprised because he was intelligent, intellectual, right? But he said, okay, maybe there's a reason for this. And another year went by where he now with the new juniors swept the floor, cleaned the bathroom, washed the plates, did all of that, okay? And came to another year of graduation, okay? And they all lined up. And Master Suzuki, tap, 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 graduate, 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 came to this young man and didn't tap him on the shoulder. And now the face of that boy changed from it's okay to what's going on. All right, are you crazy? You're not graduating me again. All right, and Master Suzuki finished graduating the rest. And this boy was forced back to the barracks of the juniors for 1 more year of cleaning the floor, washing the toilets and cleaning plates. And Master Suzuki calmly went back to his hut where he stayed alone. Now this boy this time got a bit angry, all right, and started saying negative things about the school, about Master Suzuki to all his junior classmates, looked at the seniors, started complaining, and then he snapped. He snapped and he said, I am going to confront Master Suzuki. Nobody confronts Master Suzuki. That's Master Suzuki, long beard, practically can jump from tree branch to tree branch, you know, that kind of Zen martial arts skills. And the boy went to the hut. He knocked the door loudly, pushed the door open. And there was Master Suzuki sitting in a state of absolute calmness on the tatami mat. See, you didn't know, tatami mat, all right, with a table with 2 cups and a pot of tea. And the boy started to express himself angrily. You know, Master Suzuki, how dare you not graduate me? I've been here for 2 years cleaning a toilet, blah, 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 blah. Ranting with anger. And Master Suzuki calmly with a gesture of his hand, all right, just pointed the boy to sit across him from that table on the tatami mat. And the boy sat down. And Master Suzuki said, calm down, all right, and pour yourself a cup of tea first. Then we will speak. The boy calmed down, took the pot and poured himself a cup of tea in a Japanese cup. And when do you stop when you pour tea? When it almost reaches the brim of the cup. And the boy stopped. And Master Suzuki said, now pour the tea for me. And the boy poured the tea for Master Suzuki. And he stopped at the brim. And Master Suzuki looked him in his eyes and said, don't stop until I tell you. And the boy listened at that moment of, you know, a brief moment of humility. He listened and he kept pouring. Now when you pour tea into a cup that's already full, what happens? The tea started to overflow onto the table. And the boy was already feeling very foolish and he kept pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring. And then he stopped and he looked at Master Suzuki, why you're making me do this? And Master Suzuki looked at him in his eyes and said, the reason why I did not graduate you for 2 years to the next class is because you are like this cup. You came here already full. And everything I tried to pour into your cup overflowed. Therefore, you learned nothing. Therefore, you did not have any form of breakthrough. Therefore, I could not graduate you. Now, this story stuck with me for many years because a lot of us today is like that boy. Because you are starting your journey in an industry we are unfamiliar with. When I started 30 years ago, all right, you're starting your journey as an entrepreneur. Most of you, for the first time in your life, owning your own business and building your own business. Even though it's in the industry of direct selling and network marketing, it is a business. All right, the potential is limitless. This industry has created more independent millionaires than any other industry. All right, and one thing you must take back from my video today is that if you want to increase your chance of success on your journey with Ignite in this beautiful industry, learn how to empty your cup. All right? Because the minute you empty your cup, only then can all your uplines, the great V partners, the V Ignite partners, can teach and share into your cup, and you can learn and apply. So one of the biggest mistakes I observe in network marketing is when people come from the outside world, they think they already know everything. Therefore, they refuse to learn, they refuse to change, they refuse to accept new knowledge and paradigm shifts in their thinking. And that makes them struggle to see results in network marketing. So if you want to succeed in Ignite, the first thing I ask you, I respect wherever you came from. You could have been an engineer, a doctor, a traditional businessman or businesswoman, somebody who has a PhD. It doesn't matter. This industry is very unique and very exciting. All you need to do to have a good start, all you need to do to start right, is to simply empty your cup. Now, emptying your cup is not throwing away knowledge. It is not throwing away experience. It's throwing away rigidness, that you refuse to change the way you think. Throwing away stubbornness. Pouring away the ego that prevents you from evolving, changing, and learning. So if you want to start right in this great industry with Ignite, all right, the greatest, empty your cup. Be willing to learn, be willing to change, be willing to completely give up a belief system that you had before and embrace a new belief system. Only then will your potential be unleashed. So this lesson stuck with me until today. Right? Whenever I feel that I'm being too stubborn, too unreasonable to change the way I think, with so many things around the world changing, AI, robotics, blockchain, the world is changing, travel, everything is changing, even our industry is changing. I always tell myself, Pathman, remember Master Suzuki and empty your cup. So if you want to start your journey right as a networker today, all right, and increase your chance of success, the only thing you have to do when you start, empty your cup and start right. And welcome to Ignite.